Previously, Mash is a boy without magic, but he must be the best student in order to live a quiet life with his father. We continue. Our friends will have one of their first classes. This time they will learn to fly on a broom, but what Mash took was a branch. But don't worry, Finn lends him his. Already in the class, the teacher teaches the way to fly on the broom, which is to regulate the flow of magic and float. All the others begin to practice. Meanwhile, Mash, because he can't fly more, one of his classmates starts to make fun of him. But Mash, with a hit to the ground, makes the broom fly. The other guy tells him that he cheated, but to solve their problems they will make a race to see who is the fastest. They get in their positions and start running. Everyone is impressed by the speed of our friend. He has even made a new record. But how Mash flew? Well, it turns out that first he threw the broom, and just at that moment he ran and got on it. The boy starts to complain because he cheated, but he is silenced by another of Mash's classmates, Cavill. Apparently this guy scares everyone else for reasons that we will know. Apparently Cavill has some kind of interest in our friend and tells him to meet him in that place later. After class, Finn tells him why everyone in the class is afraid of Cavill, which is that his father is a high official in the magic agency, and besides that the vice principal is very close friends with his father. So if you bother Cavill you get expelled, and we check this out because Cavill is with the guy who challenged Mash. He hits him because he lost, because he's a loser, but it doesn't matter because now he has a new toy, Mash. Or maybe not, because while Cavill is waiting for our friend he's quietly making his cupcakes. So Cavill starts to take revenge on him by ruining his books. But even so he tells him again that he wants to be his friend, and if he does everything he says he will speak well of him so that the vice principal will give him more opportunities to be the best student. Our friend doesn't think much and accepts the offer, and that's how Mash starts to do all the things Cavill tells him. But even so his books are always broken. But Mash doesn't worry too much because he has his great friend Finn by his side. In fact, he thanks him for being a good friend. But here the question is, who ruins Mash's books? Well, my friends, it's nobody else but Finn. But he did it because Cavill threatened him, telling him that he would talk to the vice principal to get him expelled, and this time he asks him to burn his clothes. But this time Finn refuses to do it, and gets a big blow. Meanwhile, Mash remembers that he has his friend's book, so he decides to look for him. But when he finds him, he sees him kneeling in front of Cavill. Finn confesses to Mash that he has been the one who broke his books. But he still calls him a good guy. He still calls him friend. When he hears this, Cavill makes fun of him and tells Mash that they better go have lunch with the vice principal. But our friend's answer is this. After the big blow, Finn tells Mash that what he did will have consequences. But our friend tells him that he doesn't care about the consequences. But when he thinks about it, he does care a little about the consequences, and to complicate things even more, at that moment the vice principal arrives and starts telling Mash that he will expel him for hitting Cavill. But his response is, Mash is not satisfied with just hitting him, so he starts to bury him because that way he won't be able to talk. I love you, Mash. Because of this incident the principal summons Mash because his expulsion has been requested. But the principal knows that what Mash did was the right thing to do, so he burns the request. He tells our friend that the reason why he became principal was because he knows that the world is out of balance. Now the world is run by selfish people with no values, people who don't think about others. But he has seen good attitudes in Mash, so he wants him to become the divine visionary. So he gives him a better explanation of how to get it. He has to get coins which are divided into bronze, silver or gold. Depending on the type of activity, so will be the type of coin he will win. This information makes Mash's brain collapse, so the director summarizes it by telling him to simply be the best. He knows that Mash can make it, but there are still many more challenges awaiting him in the future. Because of the incident, the whole school started talking about our friend, and this is why the next day this guy named Tom asks him to join the dueling team, the main sport of the school. Basically it's the sport played in Harry Potter. Tom invites him to play with them because he found out that he broke the broom speed record, and even though Mash tells him that he doesn't know how to fly a broom, he takes him to play. When the game starts everyone flies, but for obvious reasons our friend stays on the ground. The whole crowd starts to boo him because they think that our friend wants his team to lose. Tom comes to try to cheer him up. He has to be like the strong and flexible bamboo, and he also explains the rules of the game to him. When Tom joins the game, a player from the other team comes to hurt him, and he succeeds because he broke Tom's arm. Another player starts to make fun of Tom because his team is mediocre. The game goes to 60-10 and they will never be able to beat them. This was more than enough for Mash to dare to play. He takes his broom, makes a big jump and surprises our friend is flying, or something similar. Mash tells him that he will destroy them. They pass him the ball and he prepares his shot. The other team thinks he is a clown, so they throw themselves against him. But they get the surprise that Mash sends them all flying. Our friend uses the ball as if it were a boomerang and starts to score. Let's summarize it with the Mario Bros. Song. After Mash's feat, the team won the game, and besides that they beat another record. That's why Mash got his first silver coin besides the hugs and thanks from Tom. Because our friend is becoming more and more popular in the school, he starts to call the attention of everyone. Like this guy, who in the morning arrives to the classroom where Mash is with his friends. They are surprised to see him, and here we know his name, Lance, the student with the best grade in the admission test. He is there to challenge our friend. Mash thinks he wants to play hide and seek, but Lance tells him that they will play something much more fun. He takes out a bottle and with a spell manages to lock his friends inside the bottle. The way to recover it is to go to the forest. Already in the place, Lance tells him that he wants to face him, and if he wins he will give him all the coins he has. Tom knows that Lance is not just any guy. The reason his 2 marks. In this world most people are born with 1 mark, but there are those who are born with 2, indicating that their magical power is much greater. Only 1 in 100,000 people are born with 2 marks. That is why it is said that they are chosen by magic. Lance is sure that he won't lose to Mash because our friend is a person who gives more importance to others than to himself. Mash gets tired of talking so much and asks him to start with his game. Lance listens to him and uses his gravity magic to make a kind of battlefield. In the place there are Regro and Brad. They witness how the duel is about to begin. Mash starts and throws himself against Lance, but he uses his magic and manages to stop him. Lance tells him not to try to stand up. Nobody can beat the force of gravity, but Mash doesn't try to stand up. He puts his hand in the ground and takes out a big root. He throws himself again against Lance, and although he uses his magic this time, he doesn't manage to stop him. Mash throws 2 punches. With the first one he doesn't manage to hit him, but with the second one he manages to remove his chain. He picks it up, opens it, and realizes that inside there is a picture of a girl, so he says that Lance is AP. He corrects him and tells him that the girl in the picture is his sister. He asks for the necklace back and asks Mash, what is the most important thing in this world? Our friend tells him muffins, human lives, or love. But none of those is the answer for Lance. The most important thing in this world is his little sister. After all that weird talk, Lance explains him the last trial. He will throw his friends and use his magic to accelerate their fall. Obviously Mash will try to save him, so he will take advantage of that to attack him. Lance knows that this is not right, but he would do anything for his sister, and now we will know why. When Lance was a child, he always fought to defend others, and it was his sister who always cured him and worried about him. She always scolded him for fighting, but she knew that he did it for a good reason and told him that she liked his clumsy kindness. Unfortunately, she fell into a disease which drained her of all her magical energy. Her parents, instead of looking for a cure, simply accepted that she would die or they would give her to the Magic Commission. Because of these words, Lance gets angry with them and tells them that they are no longer his parents. He will take care of his sister. He will become a divided visionary and save her. Returning to the present, Lance throws the bottle and makes it fall faster. He thinks he has already won, but our friend is more than ready. He gets in position and activates his magic. Mash tells him that there is no chance that he will lose and not be able to save them. He will do it. In less than a second, Mash went down, took the bottle, and then went up. But this won't stop him. However, who tells him to stop is Mash, because when he took the bottle he realized it was fake. He doesn't seem to be a bad guy, so it's better to stop fighting. Mash approaches and in a moment he gets the real bottle. Lance asks him why he didn't continue. If he had, he would have won all the coins. Mash simply tells him that he is too clumsy to make rational decisions. These words make Lance remember his sister, and he realizes that what he did is not right. So he leaves. But before doing so he gives a silver coin to Mash. Everyone is grateful to our friend for saving them, but the only thing he thinks is that he should have taken the bottle at school. And that's how the second part of this story ends. Let the ending sound. You know you help me a lot by subscribing to the channel and giving me like the video. Believe me, I would appreciate it. My name is Alex, and see you tomorrow with a new story. With nothing more to say, good morning, afternoon, or evening. Bye bye.